what's good? It's your girl Michaela Janae here, back with another video. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. How are you doing? Over here we do everything faith, fashion, hair, all that stuff. We do a lot over here. So if any of that interests you, please go ahead and subscribe, and make sure you're following me on Instagram at Everything by Maja, so you can get a behind the scenes look at everything that I do. So let's hop right into this video. Today I will be explaining to you guys how I made my own tags for my clothes. So if you guys did not know, I am launching my clothing line this month, so I'm so excited to be doing that. I feel so blessed to finally get this started. And also on this channel, I am the DIY queen, I like to call myself. I like doing things on a budget, so a lot of the things I made myself that go along with the packaging. I made the clothes myself, so I want to come on here and share how I made my tags. I only needed transfer paper, ribbon, and a printer. So let's get into the step by step. First, I went to Walmart and I picked up my transfer paper. I have the Styled Basic, which is not like any type of special name brand, iron-on transfer paper for light colored fabric. This is it right here. I don't know if you can see it. This was $8. Okay, I got this and it comes with 7 sheets. So I purchased that, and then also from Walmart I purchased my ribbon, which was 97 cents I want to say, and it's 7/8 inches. So this is the ribbon I purchased. Then I came home and I started to do the creative part of creating my tags, and I'm going to show you guys the screen record. What I did was I looked up what is the pixel size of paper, because we need to put these bad boys in our printer. Now if you do not have a printer, I do suggest going to your local library, and I know most libraries, they allow you to print for 50 cents a sheet, so once again on a budget. And places like Office Depot also allow you to do printing there if you don't have your own printer at home. So I got some options for people who don't have a printer, but I needed to know the size of paper in pixels, so then I can go to my Fonto app, which this is not sponsored at all. If you guys have another like photo editing type of app where you can create things, you might can even use Canva if you like Canva, but I'm just not well versed in it yet. Fonto is my favorite app. I went to Fonto, put in the pixel size, so it was like 2,500 by 3,300 I believe. Put that in, got my paper. Then I decided what I want to put on my tags. So the name of my brand is Fashion by Maja, but I like to just put the by Maja on my tags. So I found the font I wanted to use, and one thing I will say, when you're creating things for your business, it's important to kind of stick with certain fonts, or maybe pick a specific font that is for your brand. So that's what I did. I used the font that I have throughout the brand. So I put by Maja, and then I created like how big I wanted the tag to be. So you have to kind of keep in mind how big your ribbon is when you're deciding how big your words are, okay? But it doesn't have to be perfect right now, and I'm going to get to that. I put my by Majas, and then on Fonto it's great because they have this, like, it's not really a copy and paste, it's a little bit more easier than that. They just allow you to create as many of the words as you want. So then I just made a bunch of different rows of the by Maja title, and I filled up the page. Okay, so once I filled up the page, I printed that page out on regular paper. I'm the type of person where I don't like to waste, so I'd rather print it out on regular paper and make sure it's correct. I actually have that paper somewhere. Let me look for it. So this is the practice sheet that I actually printed out on real paper. So once you have your practice sheet with all your rows, you need to make sure that it's exactly how you want it to go on your tags. So what I did is I took the ribbon and placed it over the words like this, you know, to see, okay, it's evenly. You want to make sure, one, that it's evenly spaced out, and two, that you can clearly see the words, and that you have enough words on the paper. So after I did this one, I kind of spaced out this bottom row some more, and then I was like, okay, it's perfect. If you want your words bigger or smaller, this is the time where you can adjust it before you get to this final paper. So once I liked it, I got back on my phone and I went to this other app. I went to Photoleap and I flipped my image. Now this is super duper important. You have to flip this image before you print it, because once you iron it on, it will be backwards if you don't. So make sure you're using an app of your choice and you're flipping your image. So once I flipped my image, I put my transfer paper in the printer, and you have to make sure you're also putting it in the printer the correct way, because there is a good side and a bad side of your transfer paper. So a good way, trust me, I know that not everyone knows which way your printer feeds through. So when you're printing your practice sheet, put a little dot on one side of the paper, it doesn't matter, and that dot will show you, depending on where it prints out, what side is the good side, what side is the bad side, because some printers are top loading, some printers are bottom loading. So especially if you're using a printer that's not your own, make sure when you do that practice sheet that you're seeing which way you're going to have to flip the transfer paper. Okay, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Like for this transfer paper, for instance, you want to make sure that the paper with the lines on it, that's the bad side. So you want to make sure that your words are printed on the side with the no lines on it. So once I printed out my tags, I had a full page of By Maja that was backwards, and I went and I got my iron. So once I got my iron, I grabbed a pillowcase, because that's what my instructions told me to do. Make sure you're reading your instructions. I actually didn't even do it on an ironing board. I just used like a chessboard and my pillowcase and a towel. Basically, that's what I used. So make sure you're using a white pillowcase, because I actually used a cheetah pillowcase, and that cheetah transferred on some of the tags, which it doesn't look bad. So I didn't waste any. I'm still going to use those, but make sure you're being conscious of what kind of pillowcase you're using to transfer your tags on, because everything matters. So I did my tags one at a time, following the manufacturer's directions. A lot of people would try to do the whole line, but when you're lifting it up, you kind of have to peel a sticky surface off, so that can be kind of a way that you can mess it up. So I just did everything one at a time, and then I just cut the tags. So from one sheet of paper, I made like 47, because on your sheet of paper is how many tags you're gonna make. So how many garments you have, whether you buy clothes from a vendor or you're making your own clothes, you know how many tags you'll need. So when you're making your sheet of paper, make sure you have the right amount, or just print multiple sheets. But from this one sheet, I had like 47 tags, and that's more than enough. It will last me a while, because in my first collection I only have like 8 pieces. So I have a lot of tags left over, and I already have some on the items that I will be selling during my soft launch. So once I had each of them printed, which I'm going to show you these up close and everything. Once I had these printed, I burned the edges with a lighter, because ribbon does tend to fray, and I just rather make sure that it's not going to do that. So I just burned the edges right then and there. So after I burned the edges, they were done and complete, honey, and now I have a bunch of tags. Making tags is really not hard. It does take a little bit of creativity, and it's very tedious to make a lot. Like I said, I have a whole little container full of them, but it's a great way to get your brand out there and do some branding yourself, and then you can sew them on by hand or have your seamstress sew them onto the garments. And that's basically it. I absolutely love my tags, and I can't wait to eventually, you know, advance them and get better. They're really small, but they're also big. Like in retrospect to my hand, they're big. I want them to be seen on these garments. So if you have any questions, if you think I left anything out, please ask me in the comments down below. I respond to every comment, so ask away. I hope this video was helpful. I will be also doing another video right after this on how I made my own branded tissue paper, so please stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys in my next video.